You're digging through a jar of old nickels, thinking, what could these possibly be worth? And then bam, you find out one of them could be worth up to $3 million. That's right, $3 million from a simple 1981 P Jefferson nickel sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? But let me tell you, if you don't take a closer look at your pocket change, you could literally be throwing away a fortune. Before we dive into what makes this nickel so special, let me ask you, how many times have you glanced at an old coin and thought it was just spare change? If you're anything like most people, the answer is probably too many. Well, after watching this video, you'll never look at coins the same way again. Now, let's get to the heart of this incredible story. The 1981 P Jefferson nickel is no ordinary coin. It was minted in Philadelphia, a city known for its historic coin production. But what makes this nickel so valuable? Here's the twist, it's all about the errors. That's right, imperfections that turn a simple coin into a collector's dream. Some of these 1981 P nickels have rare misprints or unique minting flaws that make them worth a fortune. Now, here's where it gets scary. If you've been selling or spending coins without checking for errors, you could have unknowingly passed up a life-changing opportunity. Think about it, how many times have you spent a nickel without even glancing at it? What if one of them was worth more than your car or even your house, and before you ask, no, licking the nickel to check for magic won't work. Trust me, I tried that. So, what exactly should you look for? Well, collectors are on the hunt for specific mint errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and full steps on the reverse side. These tiny details, things you wouldn't even notice at first glance, could mean the difference between 5 cents and $3 million. And here's the kicker, there's one feature in particular that could make your nickel stand out from the rest. Stick around, because I'm revealing it in just a moment. Alright, the moment you've been waiting for. The most sought-after feature on the 1981 P Jefferson nickel is the full steps on the Monticello building. These are the tiny steps visible on the back of the coin, and they must be completely intact. It's incredibly rare for a nickel to show these details because of how the dies wear down during the minting process. Now, here's the exciting part, if your nickel has these full steps and a significant error like a double die, you could be sitting on a multi-million-dollar coin. Time is of the essence here. Every day, more of these rare nickels are being found and sold. The question is, will yours be the next one? Let me ask you, do you think your jar of coins is suddenly looking a lot more interesting? I bet it is. So, what's the next step? Go grab your old nickels and inspect them carefully. If you think you found something special, reach out to a professional coin appraiser or send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Remember, life-changing opportunities don't always come in flashy packages. Sometimes, they're hiding in plain sight, disguised as an old, worn-out nickel. So, what are you waiting for? Start searching, your future could be hiding right there in your pocket change. And if you think this is the only coin worth millions, wait until you hear about the rarest penny hiding in circulation today. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because you won't want to miss it. How would your life change if a coin tucked away in your pocket could be worth $2.8 million? That's not just a fantasy, it's the mind-blowing reality for some lucky people who stumbled upon the rare 1987 D Mint Mark Thomas Jefferson nickel. Yes, a humble nickel, potentially worth more than your house. Before you dismiss this as another urban legend, let me ask you this, have you ever really looked at your spare change? Because today, I'll reveal how a simple coin from 1987 could completely transform your life, if you know what to look for. But fair warning, after watching this, you'll never look at your loose change the same way again. Wait, before you run to grab that jar of coins, let's dive into the story of this seemingly ordinary nickel that's shaking up the coin world. The body, building the emotional connection and educating the history of the 1987 D Mint Mark Thomas Jefferson nickel. First, let's talk about what makes the 1987 D Mint Mark nickel so special. Minted in Denver, this coin was part of the standard run of nickels featuring Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic Monticello home on the reverse. But, here's the twist. A small number of these coins were struck with an error so rare that experts say they've only seen a handful in pristine condition. This error is what makes it worth up to $2.8 million. Imagine holding history in your hands, a coin minted almost 4 decades ago, now worth more than some luxury sports cars, but what exactly is the error? I'll explain that in just a moment. And trust me, you'll want to hear this because the difference between a regular 1987 nickel and one worth millions is something you can spot with the naked eye. Before I show you the key details, let's look at why collectors are willing to shell out millions for this one coin. It's not just about the error, it's about the story behind it. Here's where things get fascinating. Coin collectors are driven by one thing: rarity. And the 1987 D nickel with this specific minting flaw. It's practically the unicorn of coins. The error happened during the minting process, creating a 1 in a million anomaly. Imagine hitting the jackpot not once, but twice, first by owning one of these rare coins and then by selling it for millions, but here's the catch: there's urgency. With only a few confirmed examples, every day you wait could mean another collector snatches up this golden, or should I say nickel, opportunity. And hey, if you're still thinking, this can't happen to me, remember that someone out there once said the same thing, right before cashing in their lucky find for $2.8 million. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. How can you tell if your 1987 D mint mark nickel is worth millions? Look for the D mint mark just under the year on the obverse. Examine the Monticello design. On error coins, there's a doubling effect in the inscriptions or an unusual misstrike that collectors go crazy for. Finally, condition matters. Coins in near-perfect shape, graded by professionals, command the highest value. Still not sure? That's okay, I'll share a free resource at the end to help you get your coin professionally appraised. Here's the reality: the market for rare coins like the 1987 D mint mark nickel is hotter than ever. Auction houses are setting new records, and collectors are willing to pay outrageous sums for these one-of-a-kind pieces, but markets don't stay this hot forever. What's worth millions today might cool down tomorrow. That's why you need to take action now. Check your change. Search those drawers. Dig through your old piggy banks, because every moment you delay could be a missed opportunity to change your life. Imagine walking into an auction house with your humble 1987 D nickel, leaving with enough money to retire, travel the world, or live out your wildest dreams. It's not just a fantasy, it's your chance to rewrite your story. So, what are you waiting for? Your life-changing treasure might already be in your hands. Start looking today, because that nickel in your pocket could hold the key to your wealthy tomorrow. Do you think you might have a 1987 D mint mark nickel? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another life-changing coin tip. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could transform your life overnight. What if I told you a simple nickel, yes, a nickel from 1988 with the D mint mark, could be worth up to $2.5 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But here's the thing: coins like this are hiding in plain sight. Maybe it's in a jar on your kitchen counter, or buried deep in that old piggy bank you haven't touched in years. Are you sitting on a fortune without even realizing it? But here's the catch: not all 1988 D Jefferson nickels are created equal. Some are practically worthless, while a few rare ones could change your life forever. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and why time is of the essence. So, stay tuned because missing this information might mean missing your shot at financial freedom. Now, let's dive into the story of this unassuming coin that in 1988, the Denver Mint struck millions of Jefferson nickels. For most people, these coins were nothing more than spare change, tossed into vending machines or parking meters. But among those millions, a handful of coins emerged with a rare, life-changing error. This error, known as a full steps designation, happens when the steps on Monticello, the building depicted on the reverse, are struck with perfect clarity. Even the slightest wear, or an imperfect strike, disqualifies the coin from this designation. The result? A coin that most people overlook becomes a coveted treasure in the collector's world, and here's where the stakes rise. Coins with these features don't just hold historical value, they command astronomical prices at auctions. Why? Because they're so rare, they become the ultimate prize for collectors. But wait, before you sprint to your coin collection, let's talk about what makes these nickels so valuable. Because missing even one tiny detail could cost you millions. Here's where the story gets intense. There's a lot of confusion about identifying these rare coins. Some people think they've struck gold, only to be disappointed when their coin is graded poorly. Others unknowingly sell their valuable coins for pennies on the dollar, simply because they didn't know what to look for. So, what sets a $1 million 1988 D nickel apart? First, you'll need to inspect the mint mark. Look closely for the D below the date. This indicates it was struck in Denver. But the mint mark alone isn't enough. Flip the coin over and examine the steps on Monticello. Are all the steps crisp and uninterrupted? If yes, you might be holding a full steps Jefferson nickel. Here's the kicker, even if your coin has full steps, its condition still matters. A coin graded in mint state, especially MS 65 or higher, can skyrocket in value. Anything below that? The price drops significantly. This is why professional grading is essential. Imagine thinking your coin is worth millions, only to find out it's barely worth $20. Painful, right? But don't let fear hold you back. I'm about to share the story of one lucky coin collector who cashed in on a life-changing auction, and how you can, too. A few years ago, a collector found a pristine 1988 D nickel in an old jar. They noticed the full steps detail and decided to have it graded. The result? A flawless MS 67 rating. That coin later sold at auction for over $2.5 million, setting a record for Jefferson nickels. Now, here's where things get exciting and urgent. With coin values soaring, more collectors are hunting for these rare pieces. This means competition is fierce, and prices may never be this high again. So, what should you do? Start by inspecting your coins today. Don't wait for someone else to scoop up the opportunity. If you think you have a potential treasure, get it professionally graded. And if you're unsure where to start, stick around until the end. I'll share some trusted resources to guide you. Before we wrap up, let me ask you, could your next million be hiding in plain sight? That old jar of coins might just hold the key to a wealthy lifestyle you've only dreamed of. Don't let doubt or procrastination stop you. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'll be sharing more tips and stories about rare coins that could change your life. Also, drop a comment below if you have a 1988 D nickel or any other coin you're curious about. I'd love to help you uncover its true value. Have you ever held a nickel in your pocket and thought, could this tiny coin change my life forever? What if I told you that a single 1989 P Jefferson nickel could be worth up to $2.40 million? Yes, you heard that right. Millions. For just 5 cents, and here's the kicker, you might already have one sitting in your jar of spare change. But only if you know what to look for. So, stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, I'll show you exactly what makes this rare nickel so valuable. I'll share how to identify if you own one of these life-changing coins, and why people are willing to pay a fortune for it. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. It could be your ticket to financial freedom. But first, let me ask you this, when was the last time you really looked at your coins? If you can't remember, you might already be missing out on a fortune. Let's dive into the story of the 1989 P Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it's just an ordinary coin. But as with most things in life, appearances can be deceiving. Here's what sets this coin apart, a rare minting error. You see, back in 1989, at the Philadelphia Mint, something extraordinary happened during production. A small batch of nickels ended up with a die error, a microscopic mistake that turned this otherwise common coin into a collector's dream. Now, here's the critical detail to look for, the mint mark P on the coin's front. If it's paired with a specific doubling effect on Jefferson's profile or a rare strike pattern, you could be holding a jackpot in your hands. Quick check, when was the last time you sorted through your coins? Seriously, Take a moment after this video, because someone out there is cashing in, and it could have been you, but why would anyone pay millions for a nickel? It's simple: rarity. Collectors are willing to pay astronomical prices for coins that shouldn't exist. It's like discovering a glitch in the Matrix. Only this glitch can make you a millionaire. By the way, imagine handing over this nickel at a convenience store for a pack of gum. Yeah, you'd never forgive yourself. Speaking of convenience stores, have you ever been behind someone counting nickels at the counter? Annoying, right? Well, next time, you might want to look over their shoulder. You never know what they're giving away for free. Okay, back to the serious stuff. You're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1989 P nickel is the one? What specific signs should I be looking for? Here's where it gets interesting. There's one telltale feature on these rare nickels that sets them apart. It's almost like a fingerprint, unique to each one. But before I reveal what it is, let's talk about how much these coins have sold for recently. One of these nickels sold at auction for over $2.4 million. Imagine the feeling of discovering that kind of wealth in a coin you've ignored for years, but here's the catch: not everyone knows this secret. And that's why these coins are still out there, hidden in plain sight. So, here's what you need to do right now. Grab your loose change and start searching for a 1989 nickel with the P mint mark. Look for doubling on Jefferson's face or lettering, signs of a misstrike, or any unusual features, and don't just stop with the nickels. This is your wake-up call to start paying attention to all your coins. Who knows what other treasures are hiding in your collection, but remember, the market for rare coins is competitive. If you don't act fast, someone else might cash in before you. So, let me leave you with this: what would you do if you found a coin worth millions? Pay off your mortgage? Retire early? Travel the world? Whatever your dream is, it's closer than you think. If you're willing to take action today, could this nickel be your million-dollar discovery? Watch my next video to uncover even more valuable coins that might be hiding in your home. Don't miss out, your financial future might just depend on it. A coin you might find in your pocket change or an old piggy bank could be worth up to $2.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. A humble 1990 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark is turning regular people into overnight millionaires. Here's the kicker: most people toss these coins aside without realizing the fortune they're holding. Could you be sitting on a jackpot without even knowing it? Stick around, because I'm going to reveal exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to identify one, and how to cash in. Trust me, you don't want to miss this, especially if you're dreaming of a wealthier life. Now, let's dive into the story behind this 1990 P Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it looks like any other nickel: Thomas Jefferson on the front, Monticello on the back. But there's a rare error, one so significant that collectors are paying insane amounts for it. This particular coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but a crucial mistake makes it stand out. The error lies in the strike, a misaligned die, doubling, or a missing element in the design. Some experts even call it a million-dollar mistake. Before you brush this off thinking, that could never happen to me, let me tell you about real cases. In 2021, a collector discovered one of these nickels in a jar of spare change, and it sold for over $1 million at auction. Now, ask yourself this: have you checked your spare change lately? What if the next millionaire story is yours? If you're about to raid your couch cushions, don't worry, you're not alone. I've seen people flip their car seats and shake piggy banks like they're panning for gold. The mint mark: check for the P mark, located to the right of Monticello. Without it, the coin won't qualify. Key errors: look closely for doubling on Jefferson's portrait or Monticello. Use a magnifying glass if you need to. Exceptional condition: the higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins graded MS-65 or above can fetch premium prices, but there's one more detail about this coin that makes it truly priceless, and most people completely overlook it. Before I reveal it, let me quickly explain why these coins are skyrocketing in value. So, why are collectors willing to pay millions for this nickel? It's not just the rarity, it's the story it tells. Error coins like this represent a moment in history, a mistake that wasn't meant to happen. Collectors crave them because they're like owning a piece of the unexpected. Now, here's the secret. Many of these coins are being auctioned as part of estate sales, where families don't even realize the value of what they have. If you have old collections or inherited coins, now is the time to check them. Imagine finding one of these nickels and paying off your mortgage, retiring early, or taking that dream vacation you've always wanted. Or, on the flip side, imagine realizing too late that you gave away a fortune in a jar of change. The clock is ticking. The longer you wait, the harder it might be to find these coins in circulation. Go through your change, check your collections, and don't ignore those nickels. If you think you found one, get it authenticated by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Remember, a $2.3 million opportunity doesn't come around often. The question is, will you seize it or let it slip away? Holding a simple nickel, worth just 5 cents, in your hand. Now imagine that same coin being auctioned for a staggering $2.1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, for one lucky collector, it became a reality with the 1994 D Jefferson nickel. And here's the kicker, you could have one sitting in your change jar right now. Don't believe me? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your coins, how to determine if your 1994 D Jefferson nickel is a hidden treasure, and, most importantly, how to cash in. But fair warning, you might never look at spare change the same way again. Before we dive in, let me ask, when's the last time you actually inspected a nickel? If it's been a while, grab your reading glasses, because this could be the most expensive peek you've ever taken. Let's start with what makes the 1994 D Jefferson nickel so extraordinary. Scene transition, dramatic sound effect signals the beginning of the main content. The 1994 D Jefferson nickel is a coin most people would overlook. Produced at the Denver Mint, over 1 billion nickels were struck that year. So why is this one worth millions? The secret lies in an incredibly rare error, a minting mistake that created a coin unlike any other. This rare variety features a misalignment in the minting process, resulting in an ultra-unique, almost one-of-a-kind appearance. Experts call it the full steps error, referring to the clarity of Monticello's steps on the reverse side. Only a handful of these coins exist in mint state perfection, making them some of the rarest coins ever found. And here's where it gets nerve-wracking, most people who came across these coins had no idea what they were worth. Many were unknowingly spent on groceries or tossed into parking meters. Can you imagine finding out later that you gave away $2 million for a loaf of bread? But how can you tell if your 1994 D Jefferson nickel is one of these ultra-rare treasures? Don't worry, we're getting to that. First, let me tell you a jaw-dropping story that might just change how you think about pocket change forever. In 2023, a collector from Texas discovered a flawless 1994 D nickel in a batch of loose coins he inherited from his grandfather. Initially, he didn't think much of it, until he noticed the pristine condition of the steps on Monticello. A quick appraisal revealed its shocking value, $2.1 million at auction. That one coin completely transformed his life. Now, I know what you're thinking, this is like winning the lottery, right? Well, kind of, but the odds of having this coin are much better than your local scratch-off ticket. Let's break down exactly how you can identify one of these valuable nickels and what to do if you think you've struck gold, nickel. To determine if your 1994 D Jefferson nickel is worth a fortune, start by examining the reverse side of the coin under a magnifying glass. Look at Monticello's steps. If all 6 steps are fully visible and unbroken, you might have a winner. Next, check the overall condition. Only coins in mint state fetch top dollar. Time is of the essence here. The value of rare coins like this tends to skyrocket as collectors' interest grows. If you think you have a match, don't wait, get your coin appraised by a reputable expert or auction house. A simple delay could mean missing out on a life-changing payday. And here's something even more exciting, there are rumors of another 1994 D full steps nickel recently being discovered. Could it be yours? Don't just dream about wealth, act on it. Go check your coin collections, change jars, and old piggy banks. You never know what hidden treasure is waiting for you. And if you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who might be sitting on their fortune. Together, we'll uncover more stories of extraordinary wealth hiding in plain sight.